From the second largest city in the U.S., Los Angeles, California, we've got football as EA Sports coverage of the NFL is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Los Angeles Rams. This will be taken in at the 1. And he will be marked down right there at the 20-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go. At their own 20-yard line. Nice, sweetheart. Check. Flag down. Bring up 48. Alert 3.
They'll run with Penny. And an alley to run. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. 30. 10. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Elijah Penny, an 80-yard touchdown as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 11 and a first down L.A. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Being chased out left. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42, and they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive, and they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
Play fake. Cousins. It's caught by Mike Evans. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
And an Eagle first down.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10, down at the 31.
Bang! Gun! Mike's partner. First. Man out.
They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Well, he's looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
From the 29, Cousins. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Tyler Eifert, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The sack there by Trent Murphy.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Buying time to his left. He may try and run for this. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. 5 yards that time out of the scramble. But now they're looking at a 4th down situation. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Now here's Ross. A big kick, 50 yards that time with a return of 4. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He had told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Hey, check Mike 21, Mike 21, check Mike 21.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Amari Cooper, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Boy, these guys are off to the races, Charles. 20-0 already, extra point pending.
Yeah, you always hear that term. They just boat race someone. Heck, it's car race, motorcycle race, plane race, whatever you want. Right now, they are sprinting past them.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. He gets it to Brown. Complete. Well, forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. That reception, it brings him up to the 700 plateau. He's at 700 career NFL catches now.
And that club in baseball, a rather exclusive club, and one we talk about all the time. In football, puts you in the top 50 all-time range. Not so bad either.
He will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Back to throw, Watson. This will be caught by Brown. 23 yards the pickup there. A good grab there by the former Central Michigan man, Antonio Brown.
And he ate up some real estate on the catch too, didn't he? I think the most impressive part of it, though, if there's a chance for him to get the football, even though he was covered well, he somehow finds a way to get it.
21-0 our score after 1. And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Now Watson. Flush to his right. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be brought down well short of the first at about the 9-yard line. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th. Now Giorgio Tavecchio for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Tavecchio is good. And the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
On 2nd down, it's Freeman. They'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Gun.
Cousins. This one complete to Devontae Freeman. It's a 9-yard gain, and it'll keep the drive moving.
Sometimes the most effective routes are the ones that you run in the backyard, and you probably ran them when you were 5 years old. How about a little curl there against zone? But the key to it is finding the open spots in the zone. How a linebacker or a defensive back will widen to give you space. Find that area and let your quarterback hit you.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins. He finds his target. It's Evans. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 37.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Check back 46. Watch the run. Watch the run.
They go play action. Cousins. He's going to look end zone here for... And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Amari Cooper with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the 2nd quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
Looking for more there on 1st down, but this throw downfield incomplete. He was looking for Landry that time. That'll bring up 2nd down. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Now we'll play fake, and it's Watson. Eluding the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down. Deshaun Watson, so multi-dimensional, able to scramble for the first. Faking the give. Now Watson. Now he's flushed out right. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Dancing to his left. And he's going to keep it here. And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Okay, he's not going to get the 1st down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he will have the 1st down as he gets this to the 47. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? Is biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Throwing, Cousins. Got a man open, it's Ross. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, You're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Cousins now from the 50. Going for the deep ball. This is caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. John Ross, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys continue to pour it on. Butker on for the PAT. And they're able to up the lead by one more.
Makes the score Eagles 34, Rams 3. Harrison Butker set to kick off.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Rams take over first and 10.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. Well, what's the plan of attack here? Very late second quarter, and look where the ball is.
Yeah, bad spot for you. But the defense has all 3 timeouts. So what you're telling your team is ball security number 1. It's not all on the running backs if you decide to run the football. That offensive line has got to protect them and wedge out some space because you can't just kneel. They take 3 timeouts. You're going to get the ball back in good field position with a chance to put points on the board. You got to try and get a first down and run out this first half.
And he'll work this back to right around the line of scrimmage and surrender there. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
Set, 19, 53, Mike. Hey, let's get this.
Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. That's a gain of 13, first down Rams. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. So we've reached halftime here in what is quickly turning into quite a rout. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken very short.
The Rams take over first and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right?
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Demarius Randall. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Tackle made there by Kiko Alonso. From the 45 on second down, Cousins. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. The 305-pound Ndamukong Suh finding the path to the QB there. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a third and long. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson flushed out right. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage.
Leverage.
Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Buzz. Hey, check Mike 21, check Mike.
From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Going deep down. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. All right, Charles, as a former defensive back, how disheartening to actually catch it, but just not be able to stay in bounds there defensively.
Well, extremely, because you know the rap against us defenders is that we're frustrated offensive guys who can't catch. And he caught it. Just couldn't get his feet down in bounds. It's that second part that finished off the play for him.
The Rams take over 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line.
The L.A. offense ready to go for their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A shotgun snap for Watson. Steps away to his left. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. He's picked off at his own 46. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick 6 TD. Well, this has just been obviously a dreadful day for him throwing the football. Now 4 interceptions. This one leads to 6 points going the other direction. Tough.
Yeah, it is, and this feels old school to me because you never really took out your starting quarterback back in the good old days. No matter what was going on, he was your guy, and you rode him for better or for worse. In today's football, usually we got a backup who's warmed up and has come into the game, so you can see an old school approach here that's not really benefiting them at this point.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Check 53. Check pass, check pass.
Off of play action, it's Watson. Got a man, it's Brown. An excellent gain, 35 yards.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval as a welcome sign of life that this offense needed. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Shaquille Barrett. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. Watson now to throw. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Demaryius Thomas. His first touchdown of the new season. And it's for pride now, but the Rams do get a bit closer. Tavecchio good on the extra point. So they do get 1 score back, but still a long way to go here in the third quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. That goes for a gain of 31.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10. Now Cousins. He goes underneath to Freeman. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down.
It's a gain of 10. First down, Eagles.
Back now in Los Angeles. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Cousins now 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10.
I know, easy.
Cousins. And he finds Penny. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 10 yards there and an Eagle first down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle first down.
Mike. What I need? Wide. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
From the red zone now, Cousins. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A 15-yard touchdown grab as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there. Often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter.
Here we go.
The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll go again with Bell. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a Rams first down on a pickup of 10.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one. Right up.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Shaquille Barrett able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. Now a throw here on 2nd down, and that's complete. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
Gets this one to Le'Veon Bell. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 29-yard line. Watson now 9 of 17 through the air. Not a great percentage, but it is 1st and 10. They will run the draw with Jacobs. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Once again, it's Jacobs. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. The Rams on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This time it's 3rd and 3. Watson escaping the pressure right. And he finds Howard complete. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Flush to his right. And he's got the hook up to Landry. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Back to the running game with Jacobs. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown. But they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. And that touchdown, well, it barely puts a dent in this lead. And unfortunately, I'm having too many flashbacks right now. I remember getting beat down like this playing before.
Oh, yeah? College, high school?
College. Not a heck of a lot of fun. I still remember playing and trying to tackle an elusive tailback who ended up scoring 4 touchdowns, 226 yards. He scored so many times and had so many great runs, I knew every note to their school's fight song.
Bet that ice bath felt extra cold afterwards, too.
Oh, no, there was no ice bath. You're just trying to get out of there before the reporters get to you.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Check, check. Watch the deform. Hey, flicker. Watch the curl.
On 3rd down, Devontae Freeman. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Here's Ryan Quigley now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. And how about this, a fake? And this is caught. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a 1st down. And I don't know what the method is to know when to dial up a fake punt, when not to. Whatever the method there, it worked for him.
I think you actually did explain it. There is no method. It's just a feel, a sense, and a healthy dose of guts in order to call that play in that situation.
Element of surprise, I guess, right?
Yeah, element of surprise and just a strong belief that, hey,